everybody, Tekking101 here, and welcome to One Piece Chapter 870 review titled Farewell. So we continue on with the last... Oh, don't look at me like that. I know what's on your minds right now. Hey, Tekking, where is your intro? We were promised a cringy-ass intro. Where are you doing? Just starting the review. Okay, guys, look, I gotta be at work in like an hour. I don't have time to come up with these clever intros all the time. Sometimes you're just gonna have to deal with it. I can't just turn this shit on like a switch. You're not gonna let me live it down. Okay, fine. Well, fine. We'll do some impromptu cringe. Don't blame me if you get a freaking heart attack. Hey there, everybody! I'm Fire Fist Ace! I'm gonna make Whitebeard king of the pirates! Oh no! Blackbeard killed Thatch! Don't worry, Bops, I'll go get him! Oh, hey, Luffy, how you doing? Oh, you have a nice crew. Oh, there's Blackbeard! Alright, let's fight! Oh, shit! Okay, now I'm in prison. Oh, great, this is awesome. Hey, Jinbei, just make sure to protect my brother if he ever shows up. Alright, Ace, I'll do that. Okay, well that's good. Oh, now I'm being dragged to the scaffolding. This is the worst day ever. Okay. Oh, look, all my crewmates are here to save me. This is great. Oh, now Oars is dead. Oh, now other people are dead. Oh, so many people are dying. This is a really shitty day after all. Oh, hey, Luffy, you're here to save me. Everything's great. Everything's awesome. Hey, Akainu, what's going on? Oh, God. It burns so much. And now I'm dead. Is that what you wanted? Is that what you wanted? Okay, everybody, I'm just gonna get to it. I'm not even gonna bother with the... Okay, so the cover page serial. We continue on with Bartolomeo this week. Okay, that's pretty cool. Remember Bartolomeo and his the gang, the Barto Club, his pirate crew. They show up at the town, and you don't know what they're gonna do. Apparently, the first thing Bartolomeo's got to do is like, all right, I gotta ice the guy that's in charge of this town. You know, the kind of the most badass in this port and everything. Although he is holding, like, up, I think it's his Tonto thing that he keeps inside of his pants. So, I don't know, that's not very Luffy-like, you know, Bartolomeo. Luffy does not go up and stab people, you know, to make them pass out or kill them, potentially, whatever you just did. But I'm willing to see where this is going from there, so moving on. Alright, so we have Big Mom rage screaming directly in Bege's castle, trying to get them out of there, just walloping the guy, just like, BAM! And then, you know, Bege's feeling like every single hit from this. His wife, Chiffon, who is, I believe, the 22nd or 23rd daughter of Big Mom's family, she comes out and she's like, Mama, it's me, don't hurt them, just let them go, it'll be fine, it's all okay. I mean, I know they tried to assassinate you and they betrayed you and everything, but you could let them go. I don't know why she thought that this was going to work, because it was made very clear that Big Mom hates Chiffon's face because Chiffon looks just like Lola. So Big Mom's just like, ah, Chiffon, I still see you're looking just like as Lola as ever, you fucking bitch. Pfft, I'm gonna get you out here, I'm gonna make sure you don't live to your next breakfast. And so Chiffon just is even more, I think she was kind of setting herself up for that one, you know, like, it's okay, everybody. Mama wants to kill me for looking like Lola, but I'm sure I'll be able to talk her down. Like, I mean, I guess it was worth a shot, but honestly, I just think you made everything worse. Not that it could be worse in this situation, being surrounded by a Yonko's crew, having a giant woman screaming in your freaking castle ear. I don't think it could get much worse than this anyway. Bege goes on to admit, like, he's thrashing around inside the castle, and all the members of the Big Mom Pirates are outside. They're, like, grouping around. They're like, don't let him get out of there. We'll just kill Bege and drag him out by force. Or, if they kill Bege, the others might, like, you know, Bege would, I maybe guess, turn back into a human, and then everyone else that got, you know, part of his castle would be ejected from his castle, or they would just die inside of him, you know, whatever. But yeah, Bege is mentioning that despite his big father having a great defense, like, even if someone was launching cannon fire against his big father, that still wouldn't do any damage to him. The defensive capabilities of his castle castle fruit are quite high, you know, being a castle man, you know, the fortress aspect of it is very high defense, and he's like, all of these defensive aspects, they're nothing. They're nothing. It's just an old bag fucking wailing on me, and I can feel every freaking hit. So, you know, I gotta give Bege credit, though. He's still gangster up until the end. He's still smoking on the cigar. He's just like, oh man, that fucking, oh Jesus Christ, oh damn it, okay, we gotta figure something out here, guys. Oh, okay, now that was in the stomach region, maybe a little bit lower. Ugh. Don't worry, guys, because Luffy's got a master plan on this, and that's the plan that he always has. I'm gonna jump out there and beat him to a pulp, to which Chopper has to stop him, and Nami and Brook have to kind of calm him down, like, look, Luffy, we didn't come here to pick a fight with Big Mom. Even though we ended up picking a fight with Big Mom. We didn't come here to actually fight the bitch, is what we're trying to get across here. If we were gonna try to fight the bitch, we would have brought Zoro with us. Yeah, remember Zoro? Actually, that's a good question. I wonder what Zoro would have done if he was in this situation. Actually, no. Zoro would have already been lost in the castle somewhere. You know, they would have walked in and just all sat around in one room, and yet somehow Zoro would have ended up like 3 stories above them. Anyway, so they say, yeah, we didn't bring our full fighting force here. We succeeded in saving Sanji from his family. We succeeded in getting the rubbing of the poneglyph from Big Mom. All we have to do now is leave and then join Zoro and the others in Wano. We have to get to Wano. So hey, that's pretty cool that, you know, Oda threw that little thing in there to get us a little hyped. It's important to mention that I believe the editor, you know, One Piece, you know, Oda's editor, he said that the Totland arc was about halfway over back when it was around 800 and when we were at chapter 850, around there, around the turn of the year. You know, he said we were about halfway through it. Now, the Big Mom arc started at chapter 825, and now we're at chapter 870, so I'm going to assume we're about 50 chapters total in this arc, and so we're 875 would be 50 chapters. We're kind of winding down now, so it's going to be ending really soon. And it's okay if things are left unanswered, you know, because you might be thinking, well, how the hell could they answer all of this? You know, Big Mom and all the pirates and everything like that, all the Big Mom pirates, they're not going to be defeated, are they? Probably not. Probably what's going to happen is just all the Straw Hats, and maybe not all of the Fire Tank pirates, and maybe not, you know, I'm thinking maybe Pedro might, you know, but they're going to escape. They're going to get away, and it's going to be one of those moments where it's like, you know, Big Mom's going to be shaking her fist in the distance, like, I'll never forget you! I'll fucking kill you, Straw Hats, someday, you know, I'll get you, you know, that'll be kind of the thing there. That's probably how this arc is going to end, but Brook, you know, kind of reaffirmed it here, kind of like Oda telling us, like, it's okay, guys, we don't have to defeat Big Mom in this arc. We don't have to defeat her pirate crew in this arc. This was more of just an introductory to show us the terror of a Yonko, truly show us the full weight of what having a Yonko crew fighting against you really does mean. The amount of power and authority, anyway. So Oda really did a good job of introducing us to this concept, and we're going to be seeing Big Mom again. There's probably going to be another arc in the story. I personally think what's going to happen is that Luffy and the gang are going to escape to Wano, where Kaido is ruling supreme, and then Big Mom is going to follow suit, and we're going to have this big epic battle between Kaido and Big Mom's forces. That's going to be beast, if we do indeed get that. But anyway, yeah, we have to get out of here. That's what we have to focus on right now. So, meanwhile, Bege is still falling over in absolute pain and agony while they're having these conversations. I'm just imagining Luffy and Nami and Brook are talking about how to get to Wano and everything. All the Vince Smokes are standing around. Meanwhile, Bege's in the back like, oh god, it hurts so much! Somebody think of a goddamn plan! Oh shit, okay, I guess I gotta think of a plan. Alright, here's what you do. So Bege explains an aspect of his Shironomi. He states that, you know, I'm a castle man, even though the castle is inside of me, it's not actually affected by the movements that I take outside. So for instance, you know, if Bege jumps outside, like, that doesn't mean that his castle, you know, everything gets thrown around and everybody in his castle gets like knocked around the room or whatever because he's moving around and jumping, you know, which would normally you'd think would happen if the castle really was him. It really is like a parallel universe, but it's, you know, it's like gyroscopically, you know, positioned to the point where it doesn't matter if Bege's tumbling around or whatever, the castle itself will always stay the same. So it doesn't matter if he's inside the castle like his fake body or if he's outside like his real body. So the plan here is to hurry up and get Caesar out of his body, and then he's going to turn back into a human, and then Caesar's going to pick him up, and it might get a little rough, and it might be involving a lot of tumbling and, you know, jumping and shit, but that's actually not going to affect anybody on the inside. so that they can manage to get away. They're just basically, because Caesar can fly, so they're like, all right, we're just going to jump off the sides of the plateau, and we're just going to float down. You know, it's a shitty plan B, but it's the best we got. Actually, no, this is more like plan C or plan D we're up to. You know, I think plan B was the big castle, I mean, the big father castle thing. I think we're on plan C right now. So he mentions, like, okay, Caesar, you're coming with me. Caesar's freaking out because he's like, look, I might be made of gas, but these are all, like, you know how many freaking armament hockey users there are? You know, they're going to punch me full of holes. Somebody's going to get a shot in at some point. So I hate this plan. It has, like, a 0 chance of working. But Bege is like, they're all like, you got any better fucking ideas at this point? Like, seriously, do you have any other better ideas for what we can do here? Meanwhile, you have Judgy over there. Judgy kind of walks over to Sanji, and he's just like, Sanji, why did you save us? And so Sanji finally explains what's going on here. He basically says, you know, my boss wouldn't have liked it, you know, if I just would have left you guys to die. Because he's remembering about Zeph. He's remembering Zeph, who is his true father figure, the person he actually looked up to, you know. And Sanji's thinking, you know, I might have been, like, ridiculed and disowned by you. You might have locked me up in a dungeon. You might have put an iron mask on my face. Which, by the way, I never understood the point of that iron mask, other than Judgy just being a dick. You know, you think, like, I'm gonna lock my son up in the dungeon under the castle. Nah, that's not sadistic enough. I'm also gonna put a fucking iron mask on him. Like, I don't understand. I know what Odo, it's a reference to, you know what I mean, but I like, why did, the iron mask, it just seemed, like, irrelevant. But anyway, he asks him, you know, why would you save us? And he's like, Sanji's like, despite all that shit you did to me, Zeph would not have liked it if I just stood idly by and just watched you all die with a grin on my face, you know? Like, I honestly wouldn't admit, like, that's not in Sanji's character, but you could see how some people would do that. Like, here's somebody that tortured you and didn't love you your entire life, and you're just gonna sit there and be like, yeah, die, motherfucker, you know, like, that kind of shit. But that's not Sanji, and that's not what Zeph would have wanted Sanji to do. So he's like, I couldn't stand idly by, I had to save you, that's the reason. You know, but in exchange, and this is the kind of the badass moment, in exchange for that, Sanji kind of goes up to Judgy, and he's just kind of grabs him, and he's like, tell me you're not my father, Vince Smoke Judge. So he remembers that time that, you know, Judgy, I say Judgy, because that's the way it's said in the Japanese, in the anime, you know, which, by the way, that's a nice little comparison, because we just had the episode where Judgy and Sanji had their fight, and now here it's Sanji, you know, holding up Judgy by his freaking collar, like, you know, you told me that I wasn't your son, and you told me to leave and never come back. Well, you tell me that you're not my father. So, you know, you don't dare show me your face again and shit like that. Just leave me the fuck alone. Let me go out to sea with my friends. Let me be parts of the Straw Hats. I am not a Vinsmoke. I am not Vinsmoke Sanji. That guy, that kid died at sea years ago. I'm just Sanji, motherfucker. So Judgy is like, all right, I understand now. And Judgy actually does something a little bit, you know, on the nice side, you know? I always felt like Judgy, you know, he's more similar to Sanji than he lets on. That's why he kind of rejects him so much. But Judgy goes up and he's like, okay, Bege, you, lower your castle gate. We're gonna go out there and try to buy you guys time while Caesar, you know, floats you away and gets you out of there. So that's the plan. So here's the plan. You know, Bege turns back into a human. You get Caesar and the Vinsmokes outside of his body. Everyone else is inside his body. Caesar grabs them, jumps off the plateau, and then the Vinsmokes basically just run interference. So that's the plan. All right, so what now, plan D? Plan D seems a little bit better than plan C. All right, so weave the Germa 66 will protect you. Bege thinks about it and he's like, oh wait, the Germa can fly too with their magical levitating rocket boots. So they can, well, not really magic, it's science! So they're like, alright, you could save us and then you could jump off the side and you can regroup. That's what their plan is. At least that's what Bege thinks it is. Didn't the fucking Germas have like an entire, like, army at their disposal? Like an entire fucking just castle country? And you might be saying, well, they can't get to their rescue. I'm like, the Germas have the technology of flight. They can get, even their ships themselves, we saw them scale the fucking Red Line. And the Red Line is like a giant continent that stretches like over 10,000 meters up. This is just Whole Cake Plateau. You'd think that the army of the Germas would have arrived already, you know what I mean? But anyway, yeah, so that's the plan, and Luffy wants to kind of go out there and help them in the fight, and Sanji's just like, we are not indebted to help a failure like that. That's their way of dealing with things, you know? Keep in mind, that's going to be important. So then Caesar, of course, is still grumbly, I don't want to do this. You know, Bege just squeezes his heart to get him in line. And the plan is instituted. They all jump out. We have Caesar and Bege turn back into a human. Luckily, after turning back into a human, that also frees up all the candy that Pero Sparrow, you know, coated all over the area. So now Bege is free. And then we have the Germas jump into the fray there. The Germas all try to attack Big Mom at the same time. However, Big Mom just rips off. She takes Prometheus, the sun, and just chucks it at them like heavenly fire and lights them up. Reiju almost gets caught in the freaking attack, and so her brothers have to come save her. They actually show a little bit of, you know, like, oh shit, Reiju might actually die here, and so Reiju has to be like, focus, Niji, we can do this. And then Ichiji comes in, and Ichiji's just like, gotta finish the mission at all costs. That's what we do. That's what we've been doing ever since we were kids, you know? So, you know, the Germas are the kind of, you know, the way that they were raised and their, you know, conditioning and everything, they will stay here until their last breath. They will totally fight Big Mom until they are no longer, they're just like a pile of just roasted bones on the asphalt. They will do that. But they still get some backup. We have Sanji coming to the rescue with his Diabo Jambe, and then we have Luffy jumping out, armament hockey gear, fourth elephant gun, and they just slam into Big Mom's fist at the same time, protecting Reiju, and they're just arguing with Sanji and Luffy are just arguing with each other like, I thought I told you not to go out. I was like, I told you not to do that. I said I could. So, remember when Sanji said, like, a few pages ago, like, that's their way of dealing with things. That's not Sanji's way of dealing with things. I think there was, like, a moment where Sanji's like, wait a second, that's their way of dealing with things. Yeah, but I just had this big epic speech where I'm not one of them. Oh, shit, now we have to go protect them. So, you know, not gender-bent Sanji. We can't lose gender-bent Sanji. You know, and so last scene of the chapter, Luffy and Sanji arguing, and then we have Nami and Chopper and Brook all freaking out and bawling. What the hell are those idiots doing? So, this isn't going to be a full-on fight. This is going to be just buying maybe a minute of time here so that, you know, Caesar can grab Bege and get them off the side, and then Sanji and Luffy are just gonna, like, actually, I could see a moment where it's like, maybe Reiju or maybe Judgy kind of stares at Sanji and Luffy and just, like, pushes them off the side to get them out of there, you know, kind of like, you need to save yourself, bye, and then pushes them off. To leave them to their fate. I really don't want the Vinsmokes to die. What do you think about that? Do you think the Vinsmokes might meet their end here? Period. Judgy. I'm getting death vibes from Judgy. Not Luffy's siblings. You know, Sanji's siblings might be able to make it out. I hope Reiju survives above all else, of course. She's like top priority. And I really don't know what happened to Pudding. What the hell happened to Pudding? Was Pudding in the castle, or was Pudding like outside with the other members of the Big Mom family? I don't think she was in the castle. I think they would have seen her by this point. But I don't know if they're going to do anything with her or not. But yeah, it's pretty much next chapter just going to be like Luffy and Sanji. I'm thinking maybe if they pull all their powers together, they might be able to like deter Big Mom, like nullify one attack by her. But it's going to take like, holy shit, she's strong, and they're not going to be able to win. So it's more of just like, you know, delaying to get them out of there on time. Maybe even Big Mom, you know, raging and throwing her shit around, that might actually get in the way of the other Big Mom pirates, and they might not be able to interfere as much because Big Mom's going on a rampage and shit. So, you know, like thunderbolts, heavenly fire, you know, like, Mom, we can't fight the traitors if you're throwing down heavenly judgment, you know, so that might be a way too. It might just be all these things culminating. But, of course, Luffy and Sanji and Nami, Chopper, Robin, they're all going to get out okay. I think Caesar and Bege are going to get out okay as well. But everyone else, Vinsmokes, might be kind of a little tricky-dicky there. So, I hope you guys enjoyed the review. I gotta get going, but, yeah, this is, it's gonna be pretty intense next chapter. I think there's gonna be a pretty cool scene where, Bege and Caesar are gonna try to escape, and they gotta dodge, like, arrows and jelly beans and fucking lightning bolts and shit. But, you know, within the next 5 or so chapters, this arc will probably be wrapping up. So, just get a handle of that, and then we'll be moving on to a really brief arc of Reverie, which probably won't include the Straw Hats at all. It'll probably just be a few chapters focused on Reverie. And then we're moving on to Wano. Sooner rather than later. Probably maybe within a month or two, we might be starting the Wano Kuni arc. Maybe a little bit longer than that. But I'm pumped. Are you pumped? I'm pumped. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. Signing out.